Hello, brothers, sisters, and family. I appreciate God for the privilege to share His word with you. I believe many of you are familiar with the story of David and Goliath in the Bible. That's in First Samuel chapter 17. But I want you to know that before David confronted Goliath on the battlefield, he first encountered a lion and a bear in the wilderness. Before David defeated Goliath, he first slew a lion and a bear. The lion and bear that David encountered in the wilderness was God's way of preparing him to confront Goliath. There are certain things God allows us to encounter today because they are meant to prepare us for what is ahead tomorrow. Before Joseph was made an overseer over the land of Egypt, he was first made an overseer over the house of Potiphar. When David told King Saul that he would fight Goliath, King Saul replied to David by saying that he was a youth and Goliath has been a man of war from his youth. I could imagine King Saul telling David that when Goliath started going to war, you haven't even been born. Goliath is a giant and he has the strength, the experience, and the tactics. But you don't. You are just a shepherd boy who only knows how to take care of sheep. The reply of Saul ought to have put fear or doubt in David and make him change his mind about fighting Goliath, but he didn't. Now, what was the response of David to what King Saul said? I can fight Goliath. David made Saul know that he slew a lion and a bear in the wilderness and that God delivered him out of the paw of the lion and the bear. David had the belief that if he could kill a lion and bear, he can kill Goliath. David had the confidence that if God could deliver him out of the hand of the lion and bear, he can also deliver him out of the hand of Goliath. When men try to give you reasons why it's impossible, kindly tell them what God did for you. I believe if David had not encountered and slain the lion and bear in the wilderness, he would have not, he would have had nothing to testify about before Saul, and maybe Saul wouldn't have allowed him to fight Goliath. The slaying of the lion and bear by David and his deliverance from the paw of the lion and bear by God was the testimony of David with which he silenced the voices of doubt, opposition, and discouragement. God will allow you to encounter certain things because He wants you to have a testimony that will make it impossible for the spirit of fear, doubt, and discouragement to have dominion over you. The lion and bear that David encountered in the wilderness were not in vain because it battered faith, boldness, and courage in David. Never take for granted your time in the wilderness or complain about the trials or challenges that God allows you to encounter today because they are meant to prepare you for what is ahead. They are building faith, they are building courage, and they are building boldness in you. See, if not for the things that the Lord allowed me to encounter yesterday or years back, I would not have had the boldness and courage to confront and deal with certain things today. Who I am today is a product of what God allowed me to go through yesterday. The things I know today is a product of what God allowed me to go through today. If not for the certain things that God took me through, I didn't know that a time will come whereby I'll be ministering to people, counseling people, teaching people, doing so many things. But there are certain things that God took me through yesterday, which was preparing me for today. Hopefully, I pray you understand what I'm trying to say. God delivered David from the paw of the lion and bear in the wilderness to reveal to David that the Lord is a deliverer. God enabled David to slay a lion and a bear in the wilderness to make David see his identity as a warrior. See, the lion and bear David encountered in the wilderness made David to see God as a deliverer and see himself as a warrior which in turn gave him the boldness and courage to do what King Saul and the army of Israel were afraid to do. The trials and challenges are meant to make you see who God is and who you are, which in turn, which will birth in you boldness and courage to do what others are afraid to do. David did what the army of Israel couldn't do because God took him through what he didn't take the army of Israel through. If God is taking you through something that no one else has gone through before, just know it's because he wants to use you to do what no one else has done before. What God is allowing you to encounter or go through today is not in vain because it is meant to prepare you for what is ahead. So, brothers and sisters of family, I just wanted to make you know that before David confronted Goliath, he first confronted a lion and a bear. And that was what gave him the boldness and the confidence to confront Goliath. So I just want you to know that whatever you're going through today, the trials, the challenges, the opposition, whatever it may be, they are not in vain. You are being prepared, you are being equipped to fulfill destiny and make impact for the sake of God's kingdom. Have a wonderful day. God bless you.